Hi there, warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Exclusive with me, Meghna Deka. Well, the minority appeasement has allegedly hit a new low in the state of Kerala. The state Sharia as the real expression of the Prophet and uphold its significance in all aspects of the Muslim personal law. In fact, the state government will be filing an affidavit in the Supreme Court that all the branches of the law linked to the Muslim Personal Law Board, including the law of inheritance, which are integral to Sharia, are in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution.
इस पर कुछ लोग एतराज करते हैं कि साहब इस्लाम बराबर की नजर से नहीं देखता। आप जरा सा आंखें खोल के देखिए, इस्लाम सबको बराबर की नजर से देखता है। इस्लाम ने लड़की को सिंगल शेयर दे करके उसको आजाद कर दिया। उस पर कोई लायबिलिटी बाप की नहीं रही, ना रिलीजियस लायबिलिटी है, मजहबी कोई लायबिलिटी है और ना कोई समाजी लायबिलिटी इसके ऊपर है। लेकिन लड़के के ऊपर लायबिलिटी है, उसको दोहरा शेयर दिया है, डबल हिस्सा दिया है, तो उसको कंधों के ऊपर बोझ भी लाद दिया है। अगर बाप की नमाजें कज़ा हैं, रोजे उसने नहीं रखे वो कज़ा हैं, बाप के ऊपर लोन है, बाप के ऊपर जिम्मेदारियां हैं, आप इसको इस तरीके से क्यों नहीं देखते?
No, the Shariat laws which was practicing from many years, it is continuing today. There is no need for a revision into that. If it is according to the Constitution, or if there is any contradiction also, somebody has to go to the court and get the clarification. The government which says that it is according to the law is acceptable, and they are right in respecting the constitutional validity to respect a religion whichever is according to the Constitution. So the decision of the Kerala government is acceptable as per the Congress party decision.
Meanwhile, the state would argue that before the apex court that those who belong to this community, the Muslim community, are not complaining about this so-called discrimination on the basis of the principles as recognized by the Islam. However, the BJP has slammed the Pinarayi Vijayan government over what they call an open appeasement bid.
I think it's a very distorted view. I think such personal laws really, if you talk about Shariat, which completely discriminates against women, is completely unconstitutional, because the Constitution Article 14 is very clear. You cannot discriminate on the basis of caste, creed, religion and all these, and sex and all these things, very, very clear. And the Shariat is such a biased law against women, and therefore obviously it cannot be constitutional. Anybody, any party which thinks about dignity for women, dignity of every human being, cannot ever think of actually saying it's a constitution, it is constitutional and therefore it must be upheld.
Well, UCC has to come to the, there's no doubt in that, but it's shocking that Kerala government is supporting Sharia law. I'm shocked that is the CM of the Kerala saying that nikah halala is acceptable to them, is 4 marriages acceptable to them. So they have to come clean on this. Or are they for women's rights or are they against women's rights? Otherwise, left party speaks so much of the women's right, and other side they're talking about Sharia law.
Well, let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today, Rahul Easwar, an activist, also Majid Hydari, a political analyst. Majid Hydari, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think that it is ironical that a so-called atheist Sarkar, who says that their first priority is ensure equality for all because it is a left party, is today saying that there should be different yardsticks, even different laws for different communities? How is this secular or even equal?
Meghna Saiba, firstly, the first issue is that the constitution of this country empowers the Indian Muslims to practice Shariat in their individual, family and domestic affairs and with regard to the civil suits, and that is how it has been happening not only for the last 75 years of our independence but even before that for several centuries. The point here is that let's not try to portray a negative picture of Shariat. Shariat is women friendly, Shariat is humanity friendly. I would say jahan Shariat wahan shanti.
जहाँ शरीयत वहाँ शांति, मगर Majid Hydari, there are Muslim petitioners themselves who have petitioned in the court against it. Would you say that inheritance laws are equal? Would you say nikah halala is equal? Would you say polygamy is fair on women, Majid Hydari?
Firstly, I endorse the idea of halala, because when we accept live-in relation, why can't we accept halala? Halala is a part of our faith, so I don't shy away by
so
appreciating that.
So you think halala is for women's own good?
Faith.
It's liberating for women. That your understanding?
It's about punishment to men. Halala is not any punishment to women. It's about punishment to men.
And is polygamy also punishment to men? Inheritance laws which deprive women their due, is that also punishment to men?
Meghna Sahiba, if Islam allows polygamy, it also allows women to hold multiple marriages if she divorces the previous one or she's a widow. Both the divorcee and the widow can remarry.
But not if she has a husband. She's not allowed a second husband or third husband or a fourth husband.
No, she can't be. That is because that is logically and biologically incorrect. So that is why Islam has not kept that scope. But yes,
so that is biological.
Can remarry.
So you've gone from Islam to science. Let me bring in Rahul Easwar. Everything for Majid Hydari is about equality. Polygamy is equality for women. Nikah halala is to punish men. Inheritance law, God knows, I don't know how he's going to justify that. Rahul Easwar?
Two submissions. First of all, let me point out the double standard, duplicity of the leftist communist government of Kerala, where you may remember people like me and a whole lot of Hindus were punished for believing in Shabarimala, and the state machinery came down heavily on us. And it was strongly, for trampling upon our rights given by Article 25. We were subjected to arrest. Nearly 60,000 cases. Can you believe 60,000 cases were filed? But right now they are, showing more leniency to our Muslim community and brothers because they want to have that vote back. That's the reality of the situation. Now let us come to the theological point too. See, every religion has a spiritual content, a social context. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had given a lot of female rights back in the 6th century Arabia, and he really liberated people from wine, woman and war. But there are some practices which may have come not according to Holy Quran but by the practices and conventions which we need to rethink. For example, the practice of instant triple talaq, which is right now outlawed. Even many moderate and responsible Muslim leaders have came forward and said, see, this is a doubtful practice. We need to rethink it. At that point of time, maybe polygamy was acceptable. Even Hindu community, 70 years back, we had polygamy. We had child marriage. Gandhiji literally had a child marriage. But later, when things are evolving, we need to understand and accept the essence of the spiritual principle and interpret in a social context. That's the reason why Pujaniya Sarsang Chalak all says reform should come from within the Muslim community. And unfortunately, we have seen the leftists playing to the ultra-conservative so that their vote bank is there. The only thing, I doubt nikah halala will ever be granted sanctity by the holy Islamic theology. Maybe it was a practice that originated in some parts of Arabia and got transmitted. So we need to understand some essences and do away with. And let's just one last point. Even today, as we talk, Saudi Arabia did away with abaya in the exam halls.
Yes.
Saudi Arabia, where holy Mecca and Medina are situated, where Prophet Muhammad's own birthplace is there, they have done away with having the practice of abaya inside the exam hall. So we need to understand and nuance our positions, neither go for an ultra-orthodox position on one instance or on the other second.
There is that hypocrisy. You've made your point very clear. There is an hypocrisy. When it comes to Shabarimala, there the government put out its barricades, blocked all the devotees, 60,000 cases slapped. But when it comes to Sharia law, they are all said to go and say it's as per Samvidhan. They are more or less the same. Majid Hydari.
See, madam, the world is accepting Shariat as being humanity friendly, as we have seen in the recent football.
Majid Hydari, are you rejecting a Samvidhan? Would you prefer we have Sharia law instead of Samvidhan in India?
No, see, the issue is that if for the cause of women's safety and against rape, I will definitely demand Shariat law against rape. And that is what my country needs. I
asked you if there should be Sharia law. Is that a yes or no? So you agree that there is scope for reform and changes in Sharia law?
Security. I need Shariat for women's security, for women's right, for women's equality, not only for Muslim women, but even for Hindu women. Because if we have Shariat, we will not have rapes, we will not have acid attacks, we will not have crime against women. That is my basic point. And we need to learn how
you to go and look at Iran.
2020 FIFA.
I beg you to go and look at Iran, Majid Hydari, the people there, Muslim women there, have taken to the streets. They've made very pertinent points. Perhaps you should well verse yourself with the reasons why they are today standing up against the men, the ecosystem, the lobby who wants to shackle them in these patriarchal systems and customs. But we are running out of time. However, thank you so much, Majid Hydari, for joining us, as well as Rahul Easwar, as always. With that, we're going to be moving on in the bulletin, and we are going to be slipping into a